Amico, who is a regional vice president for Clean Harbors, and this plant is in his jurisdiction. And I thought probably the best thing to do would be to start to have Scott explain what they do at the plant, and then also talk about what the leadership of Clean Harbors, which is based in Boston, would like to do with the plant to sort of bring it a little more current from its current state. Explain what Clean Harbors would like to achieve here to help it with its plant expansion. Safety-Kleen, and then the only part of Catalpa that we're looking at on the map that is not owned by Safety-Kleen is owned by the Park District, because there are Park District lots that extend north from Catalpa. The right-of-way that if you take from the point of Catalpa and go east and then go north on Center Avenue to the south line of 138th Street, that right-of-way is approximately 1.82 acres. It's important for us because in addition to that right-of-way, we would like to try to acquire the lots that are on the west side of Center Avenue that are currently the lots that are owned by the village, which are north of 138th Place, which is the first street south of 138th. Those are owned by the village, and there is literally nothing on those lots, and they do not appear to have been, they're incredibly densely forested with all kinds of invasive species trees and some larger trees that probably predate those. It appears, at least on a couple lots, there may be some foundations left over from homes that were there at some point in the distant past. The village lots combined are less than an acre total. The Park District lots, which are south of 138th Place, that Clean Harbors would also like to acquire, they comprise about 1.32 acres. And at Mayor House, I know you participated in a video call that my team had with the Park District Board, and so you are at least, I think, passingly familiar is that the idea from the Park District is they would like to sell those lots to my client in order to fund then the improvement of another park with baseball facilities. To sort of what we're trying to do. So in total, what Clean Harbors would like to acquire is the 1.82 acres of the right-of-way that's currently are north of the Park District lots. So that's a total, we're going to call it roughly about 3.7 acres. So the question becomes, as Scott described, there are traffic issues surrounding that area, both on 138th Street, where trucks come in and turn south to enter the plant, as well as on Catalpa, which is in effect the entry to the southwest portion of the plant, where because in effect what's happening is the barrels of the material are being loaded and unloaded onto and from trucks. If they can't do it fast enough, those trucks then queue up down those streets, into and next to residential neighborhoods and clog traffic. So the idea for my client is that they would take the additional 3 acres to create additional truck parking, such that instead of having trucks on the public rights of way, they would be all being able to be dealt with within the 4 corners of the plant property. And that would include truck parking as well as then additional lanes coming south, from 138th Street. It's not a lot of land, but it's a complicated acquisition because, just as an example, we cannot acquire, or we wouldn't want to acquire the properties from the village or the park district unless they, for example, were rezoned from their current designation. Actually, the right-of-way is not zoned at all, but the other properties have a residential designation. But we would need to have those then rezoned in order to match the zoning of the current plan so they could be used for the same uses. And the complication is, and then just as a footnote to this, which is the park district under state law cannot sell properties of over 2 acres except through a referendum. Well, here, because it's less than 2 acres, they can sell a property provided that the circuit court approves the sale as being an adequate compensation for the district. And so in order to complete the whole deal, we would have to, in effect, I think the sequence, if that would be, I think logical, would be to get an agreement with the village on the right-of-way and the lots, if you wanted to sell the lots, and then I'll have that agreement then be contingent upon your board's processing a rezoning request from us, and that once the rezoning request, if it were granted, then we could proceed with the purchase.
We've had some discussions, and of course, I want to thank you, of course, for what you've been doing for the community and the interest in rebuilding. I know you've had discussions with the administrator as well as our attorney. So I want to make sure we let the community know some additional opportunities or things, or partnerships we're working towards. I think we're in a good place as long as we come to an amicable solution, but I think everybody's willing to work together. So if we can, just continue to follow up the dialogue with the attorney as well as your team.
Very important. To be honest, we did not know what the value of these properties is or could be, and so Clean Harbors hired the accounting firm of Cone Resident, their appraisal division, who does a lot of municipal appraisal. In fact, they're the lead appraisal group for Metropolitan Water Reclamation District, to appraise these properties. And so we are now in the process of finalizing those, and I will be happy to share those once we get the final copy, which could be as early as this week.
We will be asking our media team to upload the presentation for review. Thank you very much. We appreciate your time.
Thanks for having us. We look forward to.
I'm sorry.